California Governor Gavin Newsom launched a proposed plan for California to redraw congressional maps. This is aimed at countering Republican-led redistricting efforts in Texas. But while that was going on outside, armed and masked Border Patrol agents appeared. One commander on the ground said the agency was conducting roving immigration enforcement patrols in the area. They took at least one person into custody during the operation. This brought a sharp rebuke from LA's Mayor Karen Bass.
We're going to use every tool in our toolbox to make sure that we do everything we can to keep Angelenos safe. But I will tell you that that is a very difficult charge for me to fulfill when the government itself violates the law. Here we are as Angelenos needing to protect ourselves from our own federal government.
Reaction today from the chair of Georgia's Republican Party, Josh McCoon. He tells 11Alive in part, it is no surprise that Los Angeles, which is a haven for criminal illegal aliens, has been targeted by federal immigration authorities. I applaud President Trump for his resolute leadership to protect our borders and prosecute those who have shown total disregard for the laws of our nation. Let's take a look at this with Jerry Gonzalez, the CEO of GALEO and the Impact Fund there here in Metro Atlanta. Thank you for the time. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be with you all.
I know you're also watching Mario Guevara's case very closely. We just talked to his daughter. When you hear about Border Patrol showing up masked and armed as a political event, what's your initial gut reaction?
Really, it's fascist thugs is what we are seeing from the Trump regime. Unfortunately, the Trump regime is abusing its use of federal resources to attack and target our communities indiscriminately. And that's something that we shouldn't be tolerated in this country.
You heard Chairman McCoon's statement on what happened backing the president. Your thoughts?
I think he's mistaken. It's authoritarian use of the military, authoritarian use of the Border Patrol. I think it is the intent there is to intimidate, not necessarily to do any kind of law and order. We've seen the numbers associated with the arrest, particularly here in Georgia. Those that have been arrested have been minor traffic violations and not serious criminals. So it's not about the rule of law. It's a pretext for the Trump administration to do authoritarian things against our democracy. And we need to be careful in this country because fascism is breathing down our neck right now.
You just touched on this as seeing this, what's happening in Los Angeles, as part of a bigger pattern, one that do you feel like we should be watching very closely here in Georgia?
Yes, I mean, the Mario Guevara case also is a test case for drumming up charges against immigrants as well as how to jail journalists. So we are under authoritarian threat in this country, and we need to push back as much as we can associated with that because we can't allow the Trump regime to continue its fascist expansion of power.
You talked about intimidation. Events like this can create fear. They can also spark organizing. How do you see Latino communities responding?
Well, we see the Latino community definitely responding associated with that. So law enforcement is doing itself a disservice by partnering with ICE. And what we see is the community is resorting to itself to protect itself. Because they don't trust law enforcement, unfortunately, right now. So that's the state of the situation where we're at, is the Latino community is going to watch for itself and make sure it protects itself.
I'm wondering if there's any middle ground here. Are you having any conversations that lead you to believe that these kinds of incidents are changing how some lawmakers may push for immigration reform, or is it just deepening what is already an existing political divide?
Well, I've seen good overtones by Representative Casey Carpenter in Dalton moving towards the middle to make sure that we do have a path to immigration reform. There has been a bipartisan bill that's been introduced in Congress as well, but it's not seeing the light of day just yet. And right now, all we're facing is these indiscriminate racial profiling attacks against U.S. citizens, even in this country. We have U.S. citizens that have been rounded up and put into deportation proceedings when they're U.S. citizens. In reality, they shouldn't be held at all.
Final thought, what's the one message you want people, especially outside the Latino community, to take away from this?
We need to rise up against the fascist regime that we see with the Trump regime, and we need to make sure that they know that we're not going to be complicit with their illegal orders that they're wanting to take over our cities.
Jerry Gonzalez, appreciate the time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.